It's late at night. The world is quiet, the streets are empty, and most people are fast asleep. But inside your head, something else is happening. Your mind refuses to rest. Thoughts keep appearing one after another like waves that never stop reaching the shore. You replay conversations from earlier in the day. You think about things you should have said. You imagine different outcomes, different choices, different paths. Your body is sitting in the present moment, but your mind is traveling through the past and the future at the same time. Sometimes it feels like your brain is telling endless stories. Stories about mistakes you made years ago. Stories about what might go wrong tomorrow. Stories about what people think about you, even when you have no real proof. And the strange part is that the more you try to stop thinking, the louder your mind becomes. You tell yourself to relax, to calm down, to focus on something else. But the thoughts keep returning. One small idea turns into 10 questions. 10 questions turn into 100 worries. Overthinking begins in very small ways. It starts with a single thought. Maybe you remember something embarrassing that happened a long time ago. Maybe you wonder if you made the wrong decision about something important. Maybe you question whether you are doing enough with your life. At first it feels harmless. Just a few thoughts passing through your mind. But slowly those thoughts start growing. They connect with other memories, other fears, other doubts. Suddenly your mind becomes a place full of noise, and you feel like you are trapped inside it. Many people believe overthinking means you are intelligent or thoughtful. But the truth is different. Overthinking is not deep thinking. It is a loop. A cycle where the same thoughts keep returning without giving you any real answer. Imagine sitting in a room with someone who keeps asking the same question again and again without ever listening to the answer. That is what over. Your mind keeps asking what if. What if you fail? What if people judge you? What if everything goes wrong? These questions can feel so real that they start affecting how you see yourself and the world around you. You might begin to doubt your abilities. You might hesitate before making even the smallest decisions. You might spend hours thinking about situations that will probably never happen. And the more you think, the more exhausted you become. The strange thing about the human mind is that it wants to protect you. Every anxious thought is actually your brain trying to prepare you for danger. Thousands of years ago this ability helped humans survive. Our ancestors had to constantly scan their environment for threats. A small mistake could mean real danger. Their minds had to stay alert all the time. But the modern world is very different. Most of the threats we face today are not physical dangers. They are social fears, personal doubts, and imagined scenarios. Your brain still reacts the same way it did thousands of years ago. It treats uncertainty like danger. So it keeps thinking and analyzing in an attempt to protect you. But instead of protecting you, it ends up trapping you in endless mental noise. You start analyzing every word you said in a conversation. You start wondering what people really meant when they looked at you a certain way. You start imagining problems that may never exist. And slowly, without realizing it, your mind becomes a place you want to escape from. You sit in a quiet room, yet your thoughts feel louder than any noise outside. You scroll through your phone hoping to distract yourself, but the thoughts follow you. You watch videos, listen to music, talk to friends, yet somewhere in the background your mind keeps whispering. Why did you do that? What if things go wrong? What will happen next? Overthinking can make even simple moments feel heavy. A small decision like sending a message or making a phone call suddenly feels complicated. Your brain starts creating scenarios, predicting outcomes, and imagining reactions. But here is something most people never realize. Your thoughts are not always the truth. Your mind is a storyteller. It constantly creates narratives to make sense of the world. Sometimes those stories are helpful. But sometimes they are completely wrong. A single moment of silence from someone can turn into a whole story in your head about rejection. A small mistake can become a narrative that you are not good enough. And the longer you stay inside those stories, the more real they begin to feel. But there is a moment, a very small moment, when you can step outside the story. It happens when you start observing your thoughts instead of believing them. Instead of saying I am a failure, you notice that your mind is having the thought that you might fail. Instead of believing every fear, you recognize it as just another passing idea. This shift may sound small, but it changes everything. When you realize that thoughts are just mental events, they lose some of their power over you. Your mind may still produce worries, doubts, and questions. But you no longer have to follow every single one of them. Imagine standing on the side of a road and watching cars pass by. Each car represents a thought. Some are fast, some are slow, some are loud, some are quiet. But you are not inside those cars. You are simply watching them pass. The same thing can happen with your thoughts. They come and go. They appear and disappear. But they do not define who you are. The real problem is not thinking too much. The real problem is believing every thought without questioning it. Once you understand this, something interesting begins to happen. Your mind starts to slow down. Not because the thoughts completely disappear, but because you stop feeding them with your attention. Overthinking needs fuel. That fuel is your focus. Every time you argue with a thought, analyze it, or try to control it, you give it more energy. But when you simply notice it and let it pass, it slowly fades away. Learning this takes time. It is not something that changes overnight. But every moment you spend observing your mind instead of fighting it is a step toward freedom. Because peace does not come from stopping your thoughts completely. Peace comes from realizing that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. And once you begin to see that clearly, something beautiful happens. The noise inside your mind slowly becomes quieter. Not because the world has changed, but because you finally stopped trying to run away from your own mind and started understanding it instead.